So today's video I'm so excited about, you all, because we are going to create professionally our own makeup palettes, and I'm going to show you the basics of it. So after this video, you should be able to, on your own, create an endless variety of eyeshadow palettes so you never get bored. I'm going to show you how to Photoshop mock-ups that you can send to manufacturers. I'm going to go over color theory, show you how to pair colors together. It'll be very in-depth but super fun, and then we'll do some color stories together. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Marlena. I own the brand Makeup Geek Cosmetics. I've been working in product development for over 10 years now, so I actually do this for a living where I work with chemists one-on-one. And so I just want to share that info with you because I think it's really interesting and I'm super passionate about it. So anyways, I'm going to start first showing you where I get inspiration for color palettes. So what I like to do is go online. I usually go to Pinterest and I just search in there color inspiration or color combos. So one of the pictures that I have I want to show you, we're going to actually create this together, and then I will show you how I go into Photoshop and create mock-ups to actually hand to a manufacturer to create that palette. So I have this picture here. I thought this one was very simple but beautiful because it's neutral, but it has some color added in there. So I'm going to use this as my first example today to show you how to pair colors together. So before we get started, really quickly, there's a few criteria that I use to create cohesive palettes. First off is the colors, whether you're going to choose orange, purple, green, blue. There's also the depth or the shades. That's how light or dark is your color. Is it a light green, a medium green, a deep green? How light or dark is that shade? And then also the texture. Is it a matte, a satin, a shimmer, a metallic, a foil? You want to have a variety of all of those three that I listed. So here's our picture. I'm going to pull it up on my phone here so you all can see. I'm going to try to match some of the colors to these that are inspired by this picture right here. I found this on Pinterest. So like I said, you guys just go and search for color combinations. I'm going to create a 10 well palette. Now obviously there's only 6 colors, so we're going to be creative and add a few extra shades. I liked this one a lot because it has a good variety of neutrals and colors, and it has light up to dark. So I'm going to start just matching some of these colors. Let's start with let's do this orangish brownish color. It looks like to me it's matching kind of with this one. This is Cheetah Bear, so I'm going to pull this out here. Okay, so that's our first shade. I see a dark gray here, so I'm going to go down here and pick this guy. This is Smoke Signal. I see kind of a muted pinky color, so I can either go here. I think I'm going to choose in here. This is getting figgy with it. And then I'll show you in a little bit how I'm going to arrange these and such. I see kind of a muted pink here. To me, it looks kind of like this shade. This is Blushing Beauty. I also see like a creamy tan, so I'm going to grab this guy here. This is Creme Brulee. Get out of there, Shadow. Get out. There's also this vanilla-y color, which I'm going to talk about this in a second. I'm going to choose probably this guy here. Now, I will say with a color like this, a lot of palettes have it in there, but I like to take this out because pretty much everyone has this shade by now. And also, this does not work for caramel and deep shades, so by including this, I'm already leaving out a demographic that deserves to have all colors that work for them. So I'm going to kick this guy aside. We don't need a creamy beige color. Everyone has one in their collection already, so that guy's got to go. Okay, if I'm going to create 10 shades, I like kind of a 30-70 ratio of mattes with shimmers added. So I'm going to do 7 mattes and then leave 3 for shimmers and metallics. So now, do you guys see that a lot of these are kind of in the mid-tone range? I have one dark, so I can either add another dark or I can add something in this mid-tone that is kind of this cool gray color, which I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to go up here and pick this guy. It's a kind of light medium-ish gray. This one is Clean Slate. And what I like to do is before I arrange the palette how I want, I like to line them up going from light to dark to make sure I have a good variety of all of the depth of shades. I feel like this guy kind of needs to go here. I've got a good variety of warms and cools. So my grays are cools. This guy and this guy are warm. These are kind of neutral, these pinks in here. I need one more shade. I can do an orange like this. This is Chickadee. Let's see how that looks in there. It's not bad, but there's also this kind of corally color here, which kind of ties in the warm brown with the pink shade. I think I'm gonna go with this coral shade. This is Peach for the Stars. So let's take this out. So now let's start adding in the shimmers. Now that I have my 7 mattes, I need to pick 3 shimmers. So I'm pulling out the foiled shadows I have. Looking at my shades here, I'm gonna try to find something that's in the same tone. Like this corally peachy shade I really like. It kind of goes along with this. This is in the Spotlight, so I'm gonna pick this guy out. There's kind of these warm browns that kind of fit with this color here. Let me show you. Do you see how it kind of matches in this tone here? Now I can either choose like something to go with the gray, or I can go with these kind of pinkish tawny colors, and I can choose maybe a purple like this. So let's try it. This is Mystical. Let me see how that looks. Okay, that's actually really pretty. When you're creating a palette, obviously you can lay it out however you want. I've seen crazy layouts in palettes, and for me, I'm a little anal about it. It drives me crazy when they aren't lined up in some sort of logical order. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of a good layout. I feel like something in here isn't looking right to me. So let me move this guy over and put this here. Yeah, I like these two next to each other. It makes visual sense to me because it goes from light up to deep, but also the shimmer shades are not next to each other, so it looks visually pleasing because it's a variety of tones and textures. Now what we're gonna do is swatch them. Okay, so here's the swatches here. What do you guys think? Does that look like a cohesive color story? Would you wear that? It's the only two that's kind of bugging me is this shade and this shade. Even though they're different, this is like a warm brown, this is kind of a pinky brown. You see how they're the same depth of darkness? They're in the same row, if that makes sense. It came from this spot right here, so I think I'm gonna swap it out for a darker color. Let me show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna take this guy out and drop that in. Yeah, that looks more cohesive. So now there's a better range of dark colors and light colors. Let me swap out this color so you guys can see. Okay, this color was now swapped out. I like this a bit better because these two aren't so close anymore. So that is our first palette. Now let me show you how to do a mock-up in Photoshop to actually turn this into a production palette. Okay, so here is my mock-up right here. Let me scoot this out of the way. All I did was take this image offline, and then I just put down a white cream colored square to cover it so I had a good canvas to work from. Now these squares here are all different layers that I created, and all I did was come here to this rectangle tool, and I just created the square size that I wanted. I knew that I needed 5 rows across, or 5 shadows across and 2 rows, so I just made the size I felt would fit. And then what I did is I grouped all of these shadows under a folder here. And to make them look more realistic, you don't need this to send this to manufacturer, honestly, but all you're going to do is I did a bevel and emboss, contour, and then the texture. I chose this kind of line texture here. I don't know with the new Photoshop update, I don't know if they have it, but I clicked on that and then I scaled it. Look at the shadows. Do you see how it gets larger and smaller? I just did a small pattern like that to make it look like it had some texture like a natural shadow would. So I hit OK on that, and then I also did an inner shadow. I did kind of the angle here just so, let me show you how it looks when I change it. So it looks like it's an indented pan, just like that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is show you how to change the colors. So I'm gonna scoot this guy over here. There's a couple ways you can do it because I know I'm matching these colors here. So now I don't know what happened to this shadow here. I'm gonna change the fill. So I just go to this path selection tool, and I'm gonna go up to the fill. And I know that I need this to be that kind of pinkish color, which I can kind of eyeball it here, but I'm actually going to color pick from this because I know that's the color of the shadow that I want. It looks a little light here, so I'm actually gonna go in and make it a little bit richer and deeper to be more of the color that I'm looking for. Yeah, that looks really pretty. So now I just dropped in a picture of the palette that I worked on so I could compare these to this to make sure that it's pretty accurate. Now the shimmer shadows right here are not squares. I just cut out squares of existing foiled shadows from Makeup Geek sites easier. Again, I am not a Photoshop expert. Please don't send hate mail to me telling me I'm doing this wrong. This is just my crude way of getting a palette mock-up to the lab. Okay, so this color obviously is not correct, so I'm going to go up here and adjust the saturation and such because it's a little bit too saturated. So I'm going to pull that saturation down, and then it needs a little bit more pink. And it needs to be a little bit lighter. So I just keep playing around with it until I get it pretty close to the shade that I want. Again, it doesn't have to be exactual because I'm going to type in the actual Pantones for the chemist to actually match to that color to be completely accurate. So it looks close enough. It's not perfect. This one obviously needs to be more purple. I'm gonna go to the color balance. It needs more blue for sure. Yeah, that's pretty good. Again, not exact, but it's close enough. So now all I have to do is label these. Either I'm going to name these shadows ahead of time, or if I don't have them named and I know that I'm matching these to my Pantone book, then I can just put these in. I'm gonna put Pantone 256 for this guy here, and then I just give some sort of naming convention under each shadow, so that way the chemist knows what shadow I'm referring to when I'm creating this palette. I actually really like that. Of course, the artwork is not good. That's not what I want. I just put a placeholder there, but the shadows here looks really nice. I would actually wear that palette. I hope this was really fun for y'all. Let me know if you like these type of videos, and we'll do some more together. I can sit here and just create color stories day after day and just have fun with it. So let me know if you like this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to comment below what you guys want to see on this channel. And have fun with your makeup. That's what it's there for, is to have fun and feel confident wearing it. So take care, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.